Hi and welcome. This is Damon Bruce and you're watching 2K Sports, a Tuesday night NBA presentation. It's Ty Lawson and the Denver Nuggets going up against the Toronto Raptors. And that's all for now. Time to hand it over to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. I'll be back with more at halftime.
Strung out like a guitar. Maybe you can educate my mind. Explain all these controls. Can't sing, but I've got soul. The goal is elevation.
And the players getting together for a little chat as we're just about ready to get going here. It's a road game for the Nuggets, and they are facing an interconference matchup in today's game. 2K Sports is proud to present NBA basketball. Alongside Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. Taking a look at Toronto, there's no question this game will put them to the test. Facing off against a team that has every expectation of beating them, they'll need to play a complete game to snare a win.
Yeah, and they're coming into this game with a little payback in mind, Kevin, because of what happened the last time these two clubs met. You never want to get swept in a season series.
You certainly don't, and you know, Steve, as well as I do, that the losses seem to stick with you much longer than the wins. Well, these guys will be ready to try to turn the tide.
Courtesy of State Farm, here's the starting group for the Denver Nuggets. And small forward and power forward, Gallinari and Fareed. Iguodala out there with Lawson, and it's Kufos in at the 5 spot. And for Toronto, their backcourt is Lowry and DeRozan. Gray out there with Amir Johnson. And it's Gay in at the small forward. A nice pick right there to get him right to the rack.
The defense just couldn't recover in time.
Yeah, the D pretty much went brain neutral on that one, Clark. Wouldn't
yes,
you?
Sir. I like that phrase.
Yeah, I don't use that phrase very often, but to me that's what happened. He shifted the brain into neutral.
That was embarrassing.
And so it's the Raptors getting on the board first. Lawson kicks to Kufos. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
Kevin, nice high percentage look right there.
Looking at Denver, they want to turn it around after the loss to the Celtics in Boston.
And what stands out from that game, Clark, is that they let a lot of points slip through their fingers at the free throw line.
Yeah, and I think some doubt started to creep in as well when they kept missing their foul shot. Guys seem to tighten up and start alligator arming those things.
The Nuggets on offense. It's game number 2 of the season versus the Raptors for them.
Remember in that last matchup, they really snuck out a win, a close game, and it came down to a few mistakes at the end. The forcing turnovers, I thought, was the difference.
Now, here is Gallinari. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against the Celtics in Boston.
His rebounding in that game, Kevin, just tremendous. He owned the boards.
And Toronto has possession. They defeated the Hornets in their last game.
And Kevin, the starters didn't have too much pressure on them in that game because of how effective the bench guys were.
And another thing getting all those quality minutes from the reserves did was keep their starting 5 fresh for the second half.
I don't think they're counting on turnovers to pull this one off.
You'd like to have them if you can get them, Kevin. You can play aggressively. You try to get into the passing lanes, but an aggressive play is a two-way street. If you don't settle down, your mistakes could be your own.
No good on that one.
Denver right now is a collection of very good players, but they don't have a star anymore now that Carmelo is gone. You always wonder how a team is going to fare, particularly in the playoffs, when they don't have one guy who they can go to for a basket or a trip to the free throw line.
Well, as good as Denver might be, as you were saying, Steve, you do need to have that go-to player to get, some good points in crunch time. Clark, you've already alluded to that.
Really, Kevin, if you look around the league, that's what separates good teams from great teams. Having that one superstar that you can lean on when everything else is on the line. The one player that can go get you baskets when you need it.
Lowry kicks to Gay. He passes to DeRozan. Great D that time from Iguodala. The Nuggets have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Thank you, Kevin. Earlier I spoke with George Karl. He's certainly aware of the shot blocking talent on the other roster, but he doesn't want his guys to change their approach too much. He said, listen, we've got to continue to score in the paint. We can't just live on the outside. I just told our guys, when you jump up, jump into their body to try to take their legs away. Kevin, we'll see if they can score inside.
All right, thanks, Doris. I think it's the one thing we were talking about before the broadcast. The defense they're facing always seems to be in a lockdown mode.
Yeah, that's their identity, Kevin, and there's kind of an intimidation factor involved here. They've gained their reputation as a defensive club for a reason. They're tough.
Yeah, they really are tough, and they also do a good job of making you uncomfortable and frustrating you a little bit. So you got to keep your poise when you're facing a team as good as this one is defensively.
The Raptors making a switch here. Bargnani's checked in, and Denver with a change here too. JaVale McGee's checked in for Kosta-Koufos.
Well, Iguodala is one of the elite perimeter defenders in the game. You know, what I love about him is he can guard any of the perimeter positions. 1, 2, 3, doesn't matter. He's so mobile and active, great anticipation, and a really good help defender as well.
Yeah, he's outstanding. Even if he's not at the point of attack, he's always lurking in the passing range. His defensive awareness enhances his great physical gifts at that end of the floor.
And Bargnani is just so tough to cover because he's a 7-footer with three-point range, but he also has the ability to put the ball on the floor and take you off the dribble. So he's really a matchup nightmare for teams.
Raptors with the lead. Outside Lowry. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And for Bargnani, you know he's going to be a mismatch offensively. The key card for him has to be his defense.
Yeah, he can get overpowered inside a little bit, Kevin. He's just not that strong or physical a player in body or mindset. I think they need to make full use of his frame and have him play a little more like a 7-footer defensively.
And he makes the first.
It's been 4 years now and counting for the Raptors since they made the playoffs. Overall, the franchise found their way into the playoffs early, but it's been hard getting back there recently.
Here's what Toronto's going with right now. Aaron Gray, he's checked in for Johnson. Anderson comes in for Rudy Gay. And Landry Fields subbed in for DeMar DeRozan. And so Lowry nails both of them. And with so many stars coming and going, Bosh and Tracy McGrady, it seems each time, Steve, that Toronto gets a team that can make the playoffs, they lose their centerpiece.
Yeah, that's going to be important in the future. Can they hang on to their players? It's one of the reasons I think they've gone with a more European feel to their club. It's an international city, Toronto is. And I think the franchise feels like if they draft European players, they're more likely to be able to hang on to them than they would be the American stars.
Here is Lowry following the basket by Andre Miller. And the shot is good. Fields has got his first basket of the night. And 1:01 left to play in the first quarter. Miller outside. Good luck. And he connects with the jumper.
You just can't let him get that close to the hoop.
The Raptors have gotten 4 of 6 field goal attempts to drop in the first quarter. Lowry drives in. Bargnani inside. Chandler on him. Shot's good from Bargnani.
And hard work on the boards, guys, leading to that putback.
The Nuggets trail by 3. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. McGee is screen on Anderson. 16 seconds left in the first. Just 5 on the clock. The drive by Iguodala. Blocked. Here's Lowry. No good on the buzzer beater. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. The Raptors out in front, leading by 3. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter.
Coming up this Thursday, Chris Paul and the Los Angeles Clippers take on Kobe Bryant and the Los Angeles Lakers. Live from Staples Center. Don't miss out.
Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. What do you guys think about the Raptors here in this one?
And this team has done a nice job on the glass. I think that's how they've built this lead. They've been very physical, really established a presence in the paint.
Well, they've chased down those balls. As soon as they've hit the iron, they've been chasing them down. That's been a solid effort by them.
So with Iguodala sitting on the bench, here's the group that George Karl has on the floor. At small forward and power forward, Gallinari and Fareed. Lawson out there with Andre Miller, and it's Kufos in at the 5 down low.
How about the career of Nuggets head coach George Karl? Actually played in the league for 5 years, all with the Spurs. But for 24 years, he's been a head coach in the league. First among active coaches and 8th all time.
And the basket by Johnson. The Nuggets trail by 5. And here's Lawson. 29 points for him last game against Boston. Here's Kufos. Shot clock at 6. Here's Gallinari. That's Gallinari again missing. And Steve, we talk about the long coaching career of George Karl. Pretty surprising. He's never won a Coach of the Year. As good as he's been, as good as his teams have been.
He's almost been stuck in no man's land, Kevin. His teams have been really good, but not good enough to win a title, and not bad enough where he can coach them up to win Coach of the Year awards. It's kind of a weird situation to be in. But in my book, George Karl is a top 5 coach in the NBA, and he has been for the last couple of decades. He's fantastic.
Great finish there, Kevin. Took it strong to the cup.
Yeah, an aggressive two-handed jam.
And that's the kind you like, especially in traffic. You got to make sure.
Lawson kicks to Fareed. Back to Lawson. Throws up the alley-oop. And out of bounds as the Raptors gain possession. Now it's set back and look at the top passing teams in the NBA this season. The real stats, the real scores from the real NBA. The Nuggets in second.
You know, when your team has a lot of assists, like these guys do, it basically is a testimony to unselfish play, patience, ball movement, and player movement.
Well, this team in Denver is really built around the haul that they got for Carmelo Anthony in their trade with New York. Good group of players, a lot of young talent. They can build around these guys for a long time.
Some changes for Toronto. Aaron Gray, he's checked in for Bargnani. Anderson comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Lowry in for John Lucas. Big group substitution here for Denver. JaVale McGee's checked in for Kufos. Chandler comes in for Kenneth Fareed. Corey Brewer's checked in for Gallinari. And it's Iguodala in for Andre Miller. Gray, that's good. And they have to continue to tweak and build after that Carmelo trade, but really they got the building blocks there, Clark. You and Steve have been talking about.
Well, the trade of Carmelo Anthony was a big move, but what often gets overshadowed in that is that leaving Denver allowed Ty Lawson to step up and really blossom into the star that he's becoming, and you add Danilo, Gallinari, and other pieces, and you can see why they transitioned so well.
I like the way they got the ball inside there.
Lawson dishes to Brewer. McGee. And the pass to Lawson. Lawson gets the screen from McGee. Looking to end the drought. And another miss by Denver.
Well, with that much space off the pick, you've got to drop that in.
Yeah, you got to make that one. I mean, that's a high-quality shot you should make 9 out of 10 times.
Lowry passes to Gay. Hangs in midair and converts on the double clutch layup. Gay's got his second bucket of the night. The Nuggets trail by 13. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
Timeout is called, first of the game for the Nuggets.
Well, no question, playing in front of these big crowds brings a lot of pressure as well as excitement. A recent study found that for home players in clutch situations, they tended to excel in effort tasks like offensive rebounding, but struggled in the focus task like shooting free throws. Very interesting.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Bargnani is checked in for Johnson. Andrew Fields comes in for Rudy Gay. And it's DeRozan in for Anderson. McGee is screen on DeRozan. The drive by Iguodala. He kicks to Fareed. Deflects the pass. 4 on the shot clock. Chandler kicks to Miller. Over Lowry. Here's McGee. A strong effort on the rebound. Nets the second chance points. McGee's got his first bucket in this one. He dishes it to Fields. Pass to Bargnani. Leads him in there. That's good. Fields has got his second bucket of the game to go. Going back to that study, I guess players on the away team didn't have that same struggle shooting free throws in the clutch. Did you notice that too, Steve?
Yeah, I think it's easier to shoot free throws on the road because the crowd is against you. Whereas at home, if you miss, you hear the crowd gasp and they're so disappointed, and you feel that disappointment. So as a result, you feel more pressure. It's kind of an ironic twist, but I think it's definitely the case.
Lowry with the ball, and it's Miller picking him up. Steps back and shoots, and the Raptors tack on 2 more.
Boy, and their offense scorching now, red hot. They've really turned it on.
I don't think they can play any better, guys. I mean, they are just making it look easy out there.
Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. On the wing, Chandler. McGee, and it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way. Both teams deciding to change it up. "19 seconds left here in the second, and it's the Raptors' ball. A 14-2 run over the last bit. Bargnani dishes to Lucas. The drive by Gay. Over Gallinari. Gay, that's good. Gay's got 4 points in the quarter.
They're scoring well here, really executing and building on this lead.
Gradually adding to the lead, I like it. I mean, they continue to work well offensively. They should be in good shape going forward.
And through one half, it hasn't even been close. Raptors lead by 17. And don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of the third quarter.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Hello, everyone. I'm Damon Bruce, and the halftime report is coming your way. Toronto leading against Denver. They're trying to close in on the 8th best record in the conference. A win here would give it to them. Rudy Gay getting it done early. He's picked up half a dozen points and is also sharing the ball, picking up assists as well. And the Nuggets, they're putting up a fight. They've done all the little things, made all the hustle plays, and that's been the difference. Andre Miller making an impact in this one. And, of course, Ty Lawson's also making his presence felt. Portland with a win against the Heat in Miami. Damian Lillard was their top scorer.
Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. It's been quite a game for Rudy Gay.
Yeah, the whole offense has really been flowing through him here. He's pulling the strings. He's got everybody clicking.
Yeah, he's the cog in their scoring machine, all right. Every pass he delivers is on time and on target.
Their backcourt is Lowry and DeRozan. Amir Johnson is out there with Rudy Gay, and it's Gray in at the 5 roaming the paint. That's the 5 out there for the Raptors. Just 3 to shoot. Here's Iguodala. They get the rebound. A nice shot by Koufos. Koufos has got the first points of the third quarter up on the board for the Nuggets.
Koufos is an interesting player. Pretty good motor, pretty good skill for a big man. And so what he does is he'll step outside and make a shot. He can score on the inside by fighting for position. Nice young player.
Part of that is his quick hands. He just knows when to jump up and reach in with his hands to catch a defensive rebounder off guard and tip the ball back towards the rim. Iguodala's drive over Johnson. Again, Iguodala missing.
This is a nice lead they've built. Very good job controlling the glass this game.
You've got to be pleased as a coach to see how your team is boxed out. Very fundamentally sound basketball.
Lowry for 3. Gallinari with the rebound.
Got a good look, though. I thought that was going to go down.
Well, the D may have done just enough there, Clark, to bother him and throw that shot off. Well, I love watching Danilo Gallinari play out of Italy, 6'10", and a great shooter. When you're that size, you can shoot over the top of defense pretty much at any point.
Toronto calls timeout.
And Gallinari, guys, is a great shooter, a terrific shooter. He's also aggressive getting inside and getting to the line. Still very young, but already a dangerous scorer, a guy that can put the ball in the basket a lot of ways.
Here's DeRozan, right now averaging 17 points a game. The shot is off. The Nuggets trail by 13. And Lawson, here we go. Back to Gallinari. That is in there. Lawson with the assist. Gallinari's got his second basket.
Offensively, just hammering away in the paint.
And that's 10 straight points inside, too.
Now here is Lowry. He has 5. Johnson sets the screen for Lowry. Gray kicks it out to Gay. 6 to shoot. No good from the wing.
Changing sides didn't seem to help them at all, huh, guys? They've missed their first 3 shots in the third quarter.
Lawson with it. Right now averaging 15 points a game. Here's Gallinari. That's good. Gallinari's got 4 points in the quarter.
Well, you've got to like the focus that they're showing here in the second half. I see a lot more effort as well. I mean, it's amazing when you lock in mentally and bring some energy and intensity, things can pick up in a positive way for you.
The drive by Gay. Shot to end this cold run. Here's Gray, and the layup falls. Gray's got 6.
And that rebound pushes their margin to +5 on the board. Solid job on the glass.
Well, it's just part of what they've done here to build this big lead. It shouldn't be overlooked. I mean, rebounding is a huge part of this game. And we get an opportunity here to check out Ty Lawson's numbers and see where he sits among the league leaders. 10th in assists, and defensively, he's been really good. He ranks in the top 20 in the league in steals.
And, you know, looking again, Steve, at his place among the top 10 assist men, he's been providing a lot of room service dimes to his teammates, and I hope they appreciate it.
Backing him down is Iguodala. Straight up. That drops.
And they've gotten themselves back into this game now.
Yeah, it's been an 180-degree change for them, and you can bet the other squad is starting to hear those footsteps.
Raptors leading by 9. Now Lowry. 5 points in the game. Here's DeRozan. Misses the 3. The Nuggets have gone 5 of 7 from the field in the third quarter. Let's see if they can keep it up. Here's Lawson, and they will call over the back on the play.
Yeah, that was kind of clumsy looking. He was not going to get away with that.
He climbed all over him like he was on the ladder. I mean, that's an easy over-the-back call there.
And some changes here for the Raptors. Bargnani has checked in for Gray. Anderson comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And John Lucas is subbed in for Kyle Lowry. Big group substitution here for Denver. JaVale McGee's checked in for Koupas. Chandler comes in for Kenneth Faried. Corey Brewer's checked in for Andre Iguodala. And Andre Miller has subbed in for Ty Lawson.
Guys, when I watch Andre Miller, I always wonder how he gets it done. He's not very athletic. He's not a great outside shooter. He's like the old guy at the YMCA who just figures out a way to score. And he's tough to guard. Crafty, can post you up, just finds a way.
DeMar DeRozan, he's checked in for the Raptors. Lowry comes in for John Lucas. Ty Lawson, he's checked in for the Nuggets. And the Raptors miss again. Here's Denver now. A big stretch here going 10-2. Here's Miller. McGee. Toronto grabs the miss. Bargnani's got his 3rd rebound tonight. And going back to Andre Miller, he's got a great deal of confidence in his game, always composed on the floor.
And Kevin, more than anything, I think it's his basketball IQ and his competitive spirit. I think back when he was in college at Utah, and this guy just never backed down and was consistent and steady and never seemed to be tired out there. I always marveled at his conditioning and his persistence. Hammer time! Hammer time! I can't imagine that we'll see one better than that tonight.
I'm with you on that, aren't you, Steve?
Oh, yeah, I'd be shocked if we saw something more entertaining than that one.
That was a nice replay, brought to you by Sprite. Here's Johnson. Ty Lawson pulls it in. Lawson's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Kicks to Miller. Back to Lawson. Hits the jumper in space. Lawson's got 4 this quarter. Raptors leading by 7. And here's Lowry. He's got 5. High, arcing shot. Just 3 on the clock. And Bargnani throws it down.
He spoke loud on making the statement that play.
But that was brute force battling for the offensive board, then taking it right back up there.
That's just all about strength and energy, guys.
The 3rd quarter comes to a close. It's the Raptors. They lead by 9. And when we return, we'll get the 4th quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports.
Coming up this Thursday night, LeBron James and the Miami Heat take on Kevin Durant and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Live from Oklahoma City. You don't want to miss it.
Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The 4th quarter of play should begin momentarily. Now, let's check in with Doris Burke for the Sprite Uncontainable Game. Doris?
Yes, gentlemen. Well, it was the stretch by the Raptors that garners the uncontainable game today. As their lead grows, so has their defensive effort, and they keep feeding off one another. It's been a statement game for them on that side of the ball.
Doris, thanks. And I think we can all agree the whole flow to their game sort of gelled at that point. Don't you think, Steve?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Kevin. Everything came together for them all at once. I mean, their shots started dropping one after another at one end, and then at the other end, they went into lockdown mode defensively.
Yeah, it was truly a good stretch for them, Steve. All they needed were a few things to kind of click into place, and then they were rolling on all cylinders.
So with Iguodala sitting on the bench, here's the group that George Karl has on the floor. And small forward and power forward. Gallinari and Fareed. Corey Brewer is out there with Lawson, and it's Kufos in at the 5. Lawson kicks to Gallinari. Over Gay. Rebound Gray. Gray's got his 4th rebound in this one.
You know, it might not be the biggest margin, but don't take what they've done on the boards for granted. I mean, it's been a strong area for them in this game.
You know, Clark, I mean, it all adds up. You do a little bit better job here, a little better job there, and you look up, it makes a big difference on the scoreboard.
Lawson drives in over Gay. The shot's good from Lawson.
Well, that makes 5 of their last 6 makes coming from inside.
Yeah, really focused on getting the ball into the paint because they're taking advantage of very porous defense down there.
Lucas kicks to Gray. Back to Lucas. Some nice ball movement here by the Raptors. Here's Gay. Denver grabs the miss.
I think he's capable of shooting the ball much better than he has so far. I don't think there's any doubt about that, guys.
They'll be off to Brooklyn for a meeting with the Nets after this one. And that will conclude a 4-game road trip. And it's Gallinari again missing. Raptors leading by 9. We're just over a minute and a half now into the 4th. Gets it to go.
Love the finish there. Not much defense, though.
Time called here. The Nuggets decide to talk it over.
DeMar DeRozan out of Los Angeles went to USC. A very gifted athlete. Strong, explosive. I think he's a player with tremendous upside.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Hey, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what George Karl was saying to the team. He challenged this group to really go for it, saying, now's the time when winners take control. Now let's go out there and take it to them. Guys, a nice pep talk. We'll see if he got them going.
Here's what Toronto's going with right now. Amir Johnson's checked in for Gray. And it's Lowry in for John Lucas. Going back to DeRozan's upside. Steve, what do you think he needs to work on to take that next step?
It's all about the outside shot for DeRozan, Kevin. The consistency of his perimeter game will tell how far he goes and how much he develops. He's an unbelievable athlete. He's a big, strong kid. Just has to be more consistent with that outside game.
From distance, that was an amazing pass.
That's about as long an alley-oop as you're going to see.
How about the pass to put the ball on the money from there? That's impressive.
In low to Fareed. And out of bounds as the Raptors gain possession. We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Here is Lowry. And there are the Raptors with another bucket.
He's had an off game thus far, but his team has been able to pick up the slack and find a way to get it done here.
And just about 3 minutes through the fourth quarter here, back to Gallinari. Gallinari gets a screen from McGee. Gallinari passes to McGee. Takes it right up. And Fareed throws it down.
There he goes again, that lower body root canal, clearing out space under the offensive glass.
Yeah, that is an area he absolutely excels in. Dentistry or not.
Does he need Novocaine for that?
Gay dishes to Lowry. Over Lawson. It's Lowry again missing. The Nuggets trail by 11. He'd better get going. He feeds it to Iguodala. Lawson. And here's Gallinari outside. That one falls, coming off Lawson's feet. Lawson's got 4 assists in the game. Toronto calls timeout. They're ahead by 8. 1:25 left to play in the final quarter. Aaron Gray's checked in for the Raptors. And a switcher also for Denver. Kufis checked in for JaVale McGee. .125 left to play here in the fourth. Here's DeRozan, and the Raptors miss again.
And it is very dangerous to leave him open like that. Lucky break for the defense that he missed it.
Lawson with it. Gay picks him up defensively. And Gallinari kicks to Fareed. The feed to Iguodala. Gallinari. Pocket 6. Back to Iguodala.
Hard, high, and strong. Give it up.
Their bench just erupts at that one. They loved it.
Slick. That was just amazing to watch.
The Raptors have gotten just under 45% of their attempts to drop in the fourth. 4 of 9. Lowry passes to Gay. Looking to get it going. Gets it to go. And the Raptors lead by 8.
And they add to this lead, trying to close this game out.
I think it would take a lot of luck and maybe then some. I mean, might be time to pack this thing in.
Denver calls timeout. They're losing by 8. 40 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Seconds left in the fourth. And it's slammed in by Fareed.
Flawless alley-oop that time. That's some real stylish basketball there.
Almost looks like a play they've been rehearsing for a while.
Well, that's the beauty of the alley-oop. It appears that way, but really it's just timing and sort of an innate sense of awareness between two teammates.
36 seconds left in the game. Lowry drawing the double team. Johnson outside. Back to Lowry. Over Kufis. Kicks it out to Gay. And now we've got the intentional foul.
At the line for 2.
He drops the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And the Nuggets making a change here. Second one is good. Hitting both at the line, and it's an 8-point game. Denver calls timeout. They're behind by 8. 15 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what do you think?
Well, they can call timeouts all they want, but it's not going to do a whole lot of good at this point.
Yeah, this one's about done. The writing's on the wall. There's nothing they can do to change this one.
"15 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's McGee. Buries it down low.
Looked like they found the soft spot in the defense there.
And Toronto has possession. 17 points was their biggest margin.
2 shots.
Good on the first, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And so both free throws are good, and it's an 8-point game. 9 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Lawson from outside. Can't get it to go. So it's Toronto winning this one. It was a solid win, Clark.
Yeah, it was, and I think it came down to will more than skill. They went out and got this one.
Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Sport, this is Kevin Harlan. We'll see you next time. And now, our Jordan Player of the Game, Rudy Gay.